Year 2. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of February, and today we're looking at page 19 in our comprehension book. And our learning question for today says, can I read speech and match it to the person who said it? So what is speech? Speech is when we are writing what somebody has said aloud. So we're going to have a little look this morning at some teachers at Sandon and things that they have said about themselves. Okay, so let's have a look first of all at Mrs. Mcnulty. What has Mrs. Mcnulty said? Now I've got a speech bubble here, so we're going to try and read together what Mrs. Mcnulty has said. So this is speech, it's what she has said aloud. Okay, so we've got a tricky word to begin with, so as we're going along today, we're going to spot the tricky words as we go along, and this should help us when we're reading our activity. So let's have a little look. We've got my class is 2C. My class is 2C. So Mrs. McNulty, teacher in 2C, isn't she? What has she also said? Let's have a look down here. We've got we've got a tricky word, have, at, cat. My class is 2C. I have a cat. Do you know what Miss McNulty's cat is called? Maybe when we come back to school, that might be something that you want to ask. Okay, the next teacher then, let's have a little look, is Mrs. O'Keefe. It says, so let's have a look together. Let's read as we spot the tricky words together. So let's have a look. Tell your grown-up, what does this word say here? We've got my class is 2A. Together, I have a dog. His name is, and I've got a capital letter here because it's a name, Eric. So Mrs. O'Keefe told us 3 things about herself here, and those are 3 things that she has said aloud. So we call this speech. My class is 2A. I have a dog. His name is Eric. Let's see which teacher's next. So next up we've got, who's this? We've got Mr. Kiddle. So let's have a look at Mr. Kiddle's speech bubble to see what he said about himself. So reading together with your grown-up, if you spot a tricky word and you know it, read it out loud and join in. I am Mr. Let's guess what this one says. Kiddle. Now this here is a tricky word. Love. I love. Can you guess what Mr. Kiddle loves? Apples. Animals. I love animals. I am Mr. Kiddle. I love animals. Now in your activity for today, on page 19, let's have a little look because you've got some speech in your activity today. So each character in the picture is doing something different. And we've got some speech bubbles next to the characters. And we've got to read the speech bubbles, spotting those tricky words. So I can see love there. And there is a word that Mr. Kiddle used in his speech as well. I can spot my, which is also one of the words that I used in my speech. So let's have a look at what all the characters are doing. So the first little girl, what's the first little girl doing? Okay. Little boy here, what's he playing? And the next character here, what are they holding in their hand? That looks like a birthday cake to me. Okay. And the last picture looks like a queen to me. So if you're grown up, read each speech bubble and see if you can match them to the correct picture. So we've got some tricky words there as well. We've got love, my, castle is quite a difficult one. That's a tricky word. And then have is one that we've just done together here. So have a go at that. First of all, when you've matched them up, don't forget we've also got to trace over them too. Now I've also got a challenge for you today. Okay, there's our tricky words again. We've got love. So see if you can find love in your book. We've got my. See if you can find my in your activity. We've got, now this was a real tricky one, castle. So I think that might be something to do with the Queen. This is another tricky word that Mrs. would use this morning. It's also in your activity. This tricky word is have. Have. Okay, now my challenge for today, once you've completed the activity on page 19 and you finish matching up the speech and spotting those tricky words, love, my, castle, I would like to draw yourself or a friend or a family member, and next to them, I would like to draw a speech bubble and write what you think they might say, or you could have a go at interviewing them in your house and asking them to say something that you can then write in your speech bubble. It might be something that they like doing or something that they enjoy. So have a little go at that. Mrs. Wood's done a little photograph of herself here, and I've put, I have a cat named Steve. I love reading books and eating cake. So you could have a go at drawing yourself or somebody in your house. Okay, year 2, hope you're getting okay with that. So page 19 in your book. Looking forward to seeing your work. Bye-bye.